To this developing story now, Ekurhuleni Emergency Services is currently attending to the scene of a massive diesel spillage along the N3 freeway in Vosloorus. It's believed that a number of suspects broke a diesel pipeline which runs along the freeway in an attempt to steal the fuel. Ekurhuleni Emergency Services spokesperson Lindokuhle Xulu spoke to us a bit earlier. We're now joined by our reporter Lindokuhle Xulu. Good afternoon, Lindokuhle. What is the latest there on the N3? Have they managed to clean up most of the diesel, or are they still at it?
Well, they are still at it, and we understand that this is going to take a couple of days to clean up. That's according to some of the officials that are here, including Ubabuntladi, that you explained to have spoken to earlier on. But I'm just trying to paint a picture for you. On my is it left-hand side? Yes, on my left-hand side, the freeway N3 is partially closed off. Because of this spillage, they have managed to keep one lane open, but as my colleague Ekurhuleni is showing you, there is one lane that is closed, and it's because of the incident that happened here. We understand there were people trying to steal some diesel here. We understand that there is a Transnet line that is running here, a pipeline going from Durban all the way towards Johannesburg. And I'll bring in Ubabuntladi here as my colleague Ekurhuleni keeps on showing you some of those mop-up operations here. But let's speak to Ubabuntladi just to give us a sense of what we understand so far. Babuntladi, thank you so much for joining us. You are a spokesperson for the Emergency Management Services. I should have introduced you better there. But give us a sense really of what is understood to have happened here.
Thank you so much. Yes, we received the call around 10:30 in this morning of a diesel spillage. And we were actually notified by law enforcement unit, that's the SAPS. And on arrival, we found a copious amount of diesel that was basically coming from a hole which was dug through into a big pipe of about 60 millimeters diameter. It's a huge pipe, and apparently it belongs to Transnet, and it is basically linking Durban and Johannesburg. That is our roads north, whereby we've got a lot of diesel companies, fuel companies that side. So now on arrival here, we found that now the vegetation is basically affected by this diesel. It was damming a lot, and no one was arrested, if I can say that, so far apparently, and no one is injured. So we basically arrived there, and we had to notify the relevant stakeholders to come. Hence, we can talk about the spill tech technicians that have started operating, digging with heavy machineries, super suckers, to try to go down into the pipeline itself and try to identify the leakage. And they are now basically right deep into it, and we're hoping that now they will be able to close it up and to seal it up completely to start now operating again.
And of course, a refurbishment of a rehabilitation, in fact, of the environment would need to take place. That is why you would be seeing some officials here basically trying to cordon off and make sure that they mark the areas that would be affected by the spillage. But let's talk about what exactly was the intention of these gentlemen. According to police, you said that they found people that were digging here towards that particular pipe that you mentioned is quite huge in diameter. But explain to us what police have told you as Emergency Management Services in terms of what these gentlemen were doing here.
Apparently, yes, they found the people, the unknown people, so that were operating on this pipe. And with the intention, it's alleged that now they was basically stealing the diesel and with loading it on some of the tankers. So, but as to what happened, what perspired, hence we can hear that now. We are told that no one was basically arrested, and we don't know what happened with that, but they are the specialists in that to enforce the law. But we can say, yes, the vegetation is actually impacted, that now the guys that will be operating here, definitely they will take more than a day to operate. And we intend, once they operate for more than a day, we have already closed the one lane of the N3 southbound, and we're operating only on one lane. So it tells you that now tomorrow is a normal operational day, so whereby a lot of people will be going to work, and this will impact the traffic flow as well.
I want to dwell upon the impact, because you are mentioning that this is Sunday. That's why you're not seeing quite hectic traffic, lots of traffic. But also you're speaking about the fact that this particular place will be cordoned off, and then the operations here to try and mop up and clean, and also just to refurbish and make sure that the plantations here are not affected is going to take days, because we're already seeing them setting up camp. But also you mentioned earlier on when we spoke off camera about the implications of financially, just what this means. Just capture all of that for us, please.
Yeah, look, it's coming from common sense. It's coming from common sense that N3 itself, number one, you can talk about that, is basically the carotid artery, economical artery of South Africa. You close N3, then you're impacting the economy. That's my understanding. And now again, the diesel line itself, so it has to be shut down completely. So now wherever it was feeding, so that means that now we won't be having diesel passing through this damaged spot. So going to fill up the depots. So that is going to impact as well the fuel supply as much as is needed, according to how Transnet understands how things can be done. So for them to get this leakage fixed up quickly, it will take time. It will take even manpower as well, who will be working throughout the night, throughout the day, maybe tomorrow. Then that is also financial impact. So all those that I mentioned is from my own personal understanding that now it will impact on the economy of South Africa in terms of fuel, in terms of manpower, finances. We've got the heavy machineries that are here. Somebody has to build the operation. So who's that person? You see, so those are the challenges that personally I see that now they will basically financially impact the country.
Very quick one, as we are running out of time. There are, of course, there's a neighborhood that we are seeing here. If you can just give us the name, if you know what neighborhood is this, and also in terms of the environmental impact, has it been contained as far as you understand? Will these people be affected on this nearby residents?
No, I think in terms of the residents here is the area here is Phumula roundabout. Yes, it is quite dangerous for them. But thanks for the spill tax guys that are here, and by trying to suck all the other available diesel that is here. Remember, once it blows the smell into the area as well, is affecting those who are now suffering from chronic lung diseases. So that might cause them to go to be hospitalized. So that is also the negative part of it. But we believe that now the spill tech guys, they know what they are doing, and they've been working with such cases in the past. They will be able to contain and clean up the area and make sure that they rehabilitate the area as well. So yeah, we believe that now they are specializing in this, and it's their responsibility. They will do something about it.
All right, thank you so much, Ntate Nhladi. We are, of course, near the N3, just near this particular community. You said it's Phumulong, but essentially, Phumula. Okay, but essentially what has happened here, we understand that there were people that had meddled with a pipe that belongs to Transnet, as we understand, coming from Durban and serving some of the areas here around Johannesburg. And unfortunately, we understand that at the moment they have not been apprehended, but the damage remains behind. As you see, some of those workers from a company, Spilltech, wearing some of the bibs written Spilltech. But essentially what we understand they've been doing for a couple of hours since early in the morning, they've been trying to suck some of the diesel that has spilled out into some of the green you are seeing here. But also what they've been doing is to ensure that this particular pipe is actually repaired, and that they then be able to try and and rehabilitate this area. They've already set up, you see some of the cordoned off areas. They've already set up and even a Wendy house somewhere there, but essentially it looks like they are going to spend a lot of time here because it looks like a serious thing. Obviously, experts would be able to tell us just exactly what damage is caused by this particular spillage. But of course, Tate Nkladi is also speaking about the financial implication to say that someone has to cough out the bill. But on the other hand is the N3 highway that remains closed partially. There is one lane that is operating, and Tate Nkladi is speaking about the fact that today is just a Sunday. There is a bit of traffic, but on Monday, when everything is in full operation, there might just be a need for a relook in terms of this particular route, because while it's closed off like this, on a normal day, it would cause some scenes of a backup when it comes to traffic. So that's the situation in Mfundo really at the moment, as we try and understand exactly what happened here.
No, it's interesting how the criminals were actually able to locate that Transnet pipeline, but even more so interesting that possibly nobody saw what happened, because it's hardly possible for you to dig privately on the N3. So hopefully there will be a few leads there. Thank you very much, though. That's reporter Lindokuhle Xulu in Vosloorus.